Good morning, dear students of Standard 9th. Welcome to the second video on the topic on Killing a Tree, a poem written by Jiv Patel. As we discussed earlier, this poem is about protection of the nature, protection of the environment, protection of greenery on planet Earth. So, I would like to begin with a proper introduction of Jiv Patel. And let's begin from there. Right? So we are talking about on killing a tree. Jiv Patel, born in 18th August 1940, is an Indian poet, playwright, painter. Look at his qualification. He is an Indian poet, playwright, painter, as well as a practicing physician. And he is based in Mumbai. Patel belongs to a group of writers who have subscribed themselves to Green Movement. We discussed this also. So see the diverse field of this gentleman. He can write stories, he can write poetries, he can write plays, he can paint. He is a doctor and he is also a social activist. Being associated with Green Movement is social activist. Green Movement, which is involved in effort to protect the environment. His poems speak of deep concerns for nature and expose man's cruelty to it. Patel's work include poems How Do You Withstand, Body, and Mirrored Mirroring. He has also written 3 plays titled Princess, Sevaka and Swaska, and Mr. Behram. This poem is taken from the collection of poems published in 1966. As early as 1966, this gentleman has been making people aware of their cruelty towards the planet Earth. So let's begin with the first stanza. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown seriously, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. Now, few meanings. Jab means a sudden rough blow or stabbing someone. Crust is the outer portion of the earth is made of 3 surfaces: the crust, mantle, and core. The topmost part is called the crust. Leprous, see, discolored. The effective meaning here is the outer scales of the planet, which is discolored and looks ugly. If you go close to a fully grown up tree, the barks are cracked and they are rough. They have scales in it. So it looks ugly. But leprous means leprosy is a disease, a skin disease, where you get wounds and infection on your skin. And leper is a person who has that disease of leprosy. And leprous hide means skin of a person suffering from leprosy. That is the actual meaning. So poets use different words from different sector and apply over it. Then hide. The skin of an animal is called hide. They are strong, thick outer skin. So he compares the bark of a tree with the hide of an animal. So the thick skin of an animal. Human beings have skin. The skin of animals are referred to as hide because they are thicker, stronger. Now it takes, first he begins with telling you it takes a long time to kill a tree. Tree doesn't die very easily. A jab of you just stab with it a knife, it will not die. Why? Because it is strong. And why it is strong? Because it has slowly been eating. Consuming earth means eating from earth, getting its food from earth. And then where does he get food from the earth? From the crust of the earth. And then he has also taken things from nature, purest things from nature, that is sunlight, air, water. and it has not happened in a day or two. It has been happening for years. So he said the ugly skin or outer skin, if you stab with that area, leaves will start growing from there, and it would become stronger, even stronger, unlike human being. Now let's see a few poetic devices. There is consuming the earth is a personification. There is lots of enjambment. It takes much time to kill a tree. First, second, and third lines are example of enjambment. Then again, fifth, sixth, and seventh lines are of enjambment. Then feeding is again personification. So two basic poetic devices you can notice clearly: enjambment, first three, and fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. They are example of enjambment and personification. Consuming and feeding is an example which activity associated mostly with humans. So it is they don't have mouth. The trees directly don't have mouth that they could feed from there. So there are the devices. The basic summary of the part is it's mocking man of its weak attempt to kill a tree. Men can be killed by a simple jab. You stab a man and the man will bleed to death, but that doesn't necessarily happen with a a tree. Basic idea. So it says it's way stronger than a man because it has been consuming pure things for ages and ages from our planet Earth, and it has been the process has not been rapid. The process has been slow. The point to be noted here is why is okay. Let's move on to the other part. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from those bleeding bark, excuse me, I missed it. I read from the book better. That is better. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. The few meanings that have been given here: hack means to cut roughly, chop means to just cut off, twig is the small branches, teeny branches that grow out from the main branch, the little ones that are called twig. Miniature means a small version of it. You see, he has made a miniature Taj Mahal, the small version replica of Taj Mahal, that is miniature. And bow is curled to green twigs, miniature bows. Bows is the small form of a tree. Bow is an actual tree, wooden tree with the canopy, that is a bow, and a miniature forms of it will grow. So first let's start with the poetic device. First two lines is enjambment. Not so much pain will do it is easily an example of personification. Bleeding bark, personification, right? And there is lots of enjambment again. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs. These lines means fourth, fifth, and sixth lines are enjambment, and seventh, eighth, ninth lines are again enjambment. Two poetic devices basically he has used, and there are other poetic devices like bleeding bark, alliteration, and in the last part, which if unchecked will expand. So which and will, alliteration. Three poetic devices we find: alliteration, personification, and your the last part, enjambment. So first he says trees were stronger than human beings, and that's the reason why it's not easy to kill a tree, and if you cut it and chop it, still it will continue to grow. It will not die, it will continue to grow. And the basic reason for that is, even if you cut it, again trees will grow out from the cut part of it, right? If the root is still inside, even if you cut the tree, again tree grows to the former size. So let's keep it up to this today. We will continue in the next week. Till then, goodbye.